Yo guys, Self-Effects, welcome back to another video. Today we're pretty much focusing on it's currently 4 September 2022, right? So I'm just gonna be providing my pretty much short-term daily bias, right? What I'm pretty much looking for pretty much the next few days, right? Because like right now on the daily time frame, right? I think I'm gonna start with US30. Let me just remove all this, and then we begin from the beginning again, right? So currently, personally, I tend to begin on the weekly time frame, right? And if you can pay attention, price just filled in this balanced price range like this, right? Currently looking short-term corrective to potentially this order block right here, right? But that's still yet to be said. And when price is like this, I'm pretty much bullish until I'm seeing price respect this order block, right? So in this case, we're gonna be beginning on the daily time frame, right? And within that order block range, right? What's our drawn liquidity? Because I tend to like pile this PD arrays, if that makes sense. Meaning that going straight from the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour, right? If I'm looking to see which PD arrays are gonna be respected, I look for lower time frame arrays within higher time frame PD arrays. In simple terms, right now we're on the weekly, right? I'm gonna mark out this order blocks price range, right? Like this. And then within it, I'll be looking for a drawn liquidity, right? So we scale down to the daily, right? First thing I'm able to identify is this, which is a 1-day CB, 1-day favorite gap CB, right? So that's pretty much my short-term drawn liquidity. But for me to know that I'm expecting price to go into that price range, right? Meaning that this 1-day CB, we need to know where does price come from and what is it willing to use as some form of support to drive price higher, right? So currently, we have this right here. We have this 1-day favorite gap, right? Which was not clear on the weekly, so it's way clear on the daily, right? Easy. Buy side imbalance, sell side insufficient, right? And then now, where was price reacting off within it? It just managed to reach the consequence encroachment level of the 1-day favorite gap and then drove price higher, if that makes sense, right? So that's pretty much, that's commented. Okay, it's fine. Okay, this is pretty much where price is respecting on the daily favorite gap right now, scaling down into lower time frame within that favorite gap, right? We have a 4-hour favorite gap within the daily favorite gap, right? So that's pretty much was our drawn liquidity. And if we're gonna set it out, we'll set it out like this. 4-hour favorite gap, right? And then now I can set this to be visible on the daily time frame and above, right? So currently, I'm looking to see price draw into the daily favorite gap, right? CB, which is within the weekly order block range, right? And then my short term draw on liquidity, because like we're pretty much bullish, or I would regard price as bullish, would be this buy side right here for US30, right? And I'm currently interested on this inversion favorite gap right here, right? So I'm looking to see how price reacts, if it's gonna be willing to drop back down into it to drive price higher, right? Or is price just gonna pierce through and then pretty much the executions for the day, right? Then we'll be looking to see how Tuesday behaves. Or if this doesn't pretty much happen, I'll be interested to see how the next 4-hour candlestick closes, right? And then that pretty much means I'll be looking to execute trades during the PM session, right? If FAVD gap presents itself right here to drive price higher, right? So that's pretty much my drawn liquidity for US 30, right? Features, right? And then now we're going to NASDAQ because we have some form of market correlation, meaning that we are pretty much looking for the same things to encounter, right? Some form of relation towards all of them, right? On NASDAQ, we've got the weekly order block range right here, right? I'm still regarding price as bullish, right? So we can set this up like this, and then we mark out this range right here, this weekly range, and then within it, we'll be looking for an array, a premium array, right? And if you can pay attention, I've already marked it out. Okay, with this one, we have this 1-day gap right here, this volume imbalance, and we have this FAVD gap right here. Personally, when prices like this, I tend to look for the one which is at the most extreme, right? So pretty much within this order block range from this low to this high, the one that's above the FAVD gap range, the equilibrium, then if I can invert this like this one right here is above the equilibrium. It's pretty much within the extreme level of the premium zone. So this is pretty much my draw on liquidity. This is my point of interest, the 1-day gap, right? And like now, for much clear price, I will not be looking to execute any trades on NASDAQ. I'll just be pretty much looking to use it as support to drive price higher. But for the day, I want to see just do it like this. I want to see price draw to buy side right here. So this is my points of interest before we see higher price. Let me just return that. Yep, right. Okay. Okay, our volume imbalance and our buy side, right? So NASDAQ is a bit different compared to US 30. As you can see, US 30 was reacting off this FAVD gap, this 4-hour FAVD gap right here, right? And then now paying attention to NASDAQ, it seems to have respected this order block range, and this order block right here, right? And I'm identifying that by the fact that price did not close below the min threshold or the low, right? So even when price pierces through the low, I still personally regard this FAVD gap as being respected as long as the price closes above the min threshold range, right? So pretty much bullish. And like right now, if we're looking, we have this phenomenon right here, which is an SMT divergence, right? So that's an extra confirmation for me. It gives me confidence in knowing or expecting price to reach buy side here, which is pretty much the previous week's high, right? So right now we'll be moving to S&P 500. Pretty much looking for the same similar thing. I've already sketched it out though, right? My drawn liquidity is this order block above, right here. Let me do it like this, just to reduce the noise. Okay, we have this order block right here, and just below it we have this CB right here, which personally I'm looking to see price pass through it and draw into this 1 week bullish order block, right? So can mark it out like that, and then yeah, scaling down into the daily, we have this price range right here within the order block. We have the fair value gap, right? And we have this volume imbalance. So Nasdaq and S&P 500 seems to have presented a gap for us. So I'm looking to see, this is pretty much my points of interest for the upcoming days for the first week of September 2023, right? And price seems to have respected this fair value gap right here, which formed with the candles of 29, 30, and 31st of August 2023, right? So right now with S&P 500, I'm looking to see on the daily, so pretty much tomorrow's price range on Tuesday, right? I'm expecting to see price close above this previous day, this daily order block range, right? And then depending on how price closes today, our drawn liquidity will be pretty much the previous day high and buy side above. And I'll be using this order block range as some form of support to drive price higher, right? So like now on the 4-hour time frame, pretty much looking for the same phenomenon, right? So if price is gonna be retracing back to the order block range, I'll be looking to see personally, my points of interest would be this order block right here. So maybe price drawing back lower, support price higher. If not that, my points of interest would be this implied fair value gap right here. And an implied fair value gap is formed via wicks, via the wicks that cross each other, if that makes any sense. So we divide both wicks in half, and then we get this range. And then this range right here becomes an implied fair value gap. That makes sense, right? So pretty much on all three assets, we're looking to see price draw higher, if that makes sense. So hope this was helpful to you and helping you with your bias. And if you got any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comment section. And yeah, man, be sure to hit the subscribe button and have a great day.